Most of the time, the people involved in a cheating scandal have more confidence to provoke the legal wife. That seems to be the case for Sharina Hudson, as Wendy Williams had openly talked about how huge Sharina's role is in the falling out of her marriage. Although Wendy and Kevin have been divorced for years already, the feud between the three of them is still ongoing, and we are always here to know about this drama. Let's admit it, the most common reason why known personalities break up is because of a third party. Sometimes it gets tiring to hear their stories because it happens all the time and there's really nothing new, but in Wendy's case, even though she and Kevin are no longer together, it looks like the problem she had to deal with in this issue is not ending anytime soon.
I do Hot Topics. I don't live Hot Topics.
She can forgive an affair, but an affair with a baby, that's it.
This is the culmination of everything.
Everything. It's weird doing Hot Topics and being a hot topic. It's some sort of weird story going around the internet regarding my husband. The headlines were everywhere. The tabloids, the newspapers, credible news sources were talking about this affair. Now look, I'm a straight shooter, pow pow. All you gotta do is Google him and you see the story. You can believe what you want, but...
When news about Sharina being pregnant broke out, Wendy had a relapse and became dependent on alcohol once again. Kevin's affair with Sharina has been going on for more than 10 years already, and Wendy knew about that. She let it slide though and did not even make a scene about it when she first found out. Well, I bet that she felt there was something going on, and besides, Kevin did not really keep his affair as low-key as possible. Many would even think that he was not even afraid of people to find out about his affair. Anyway, Wendy even talked about this and said that Sharina was not the first girl that her ex-husband had an affair with, but Sharina and Kevin's affair had lasted. Until now, they're still together trying to extort money from Wendy. During the early years of Wendy and Kevin's relationship, many of her fans are already talking about the possibility that Kevin is just in it for money. That he's a gold digger and is just using Wendy for her money. Those speculations were proven to be true during their divorce process. Right now, Kevin is no longer hesitant to tell the whole world that he's almost broke because Wendy is no longer giving him alimony pay. What kind of man does that? I mean, Sharina and him are completely relying on Wendy's money to provide for their little family. To think that they cheated on Wendy and still have the nerve to force her and file a case against her just so they can continue living a lavish lifestyle with Wendy's money. If you're not fully aware about what happened to their relationship and how involved Sharina is to the separation, then let me tell you the story. Like what I've mentioned already, Wendy knew about Kevin's affair with Sharina, but decided to end their marriage when she found out that Kevin and Sharina have a child. Kevin, on the other hand, had been gold digging for a very long time. Rumor has it that Sharina had pressured Kevin to divorce Wendy before. Obviously, Kevin cannot do that because he needs Wendy's money. Before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you love Wendy Williams and want to see more videos about her and how this fiasco with her ex-husband is going to end. Going back to our topic, since Kevin cannot end their marriage because he knows that Wendy is the one paying the bills and he's just leeching off of her, then they just continue with their affair. What is more infuriating is that Kevin spoiled Sharina with Wendy's money. I mean, how could he do that? He was the one cheating on her then wife and still had the audacity and confidence to spend Wendy's money on her mistress? I guess we can all agree that this man has no honor and does not even know how to be ashamed. How exactly did he spend Wendy's money on Sharina though? Apparently, he bought a house for Sharina which is only a few miles away from the house where he lived with Wendy. This was revealed by Wendy in one of her interviews. You see, when she ended their marriage, there was really nothing holding her back to say everything about what she went through with their marriage. She had a lot to expose about Kevin and Sharina, and now that they're still involving Wendy in more issues, I bet that Wendy will not be backing down without a fight. Not only did Kevin buy Sharina a house, but he also invested in her business. Again, he used Wendy's money for this. That is not the end of it though, because he enrolled Sharina to be a massage therapist. Yes, you've guessed that right, he used Wendy's money for this as well. This dude does not know how to man up, huh? Here he is supporting his mistress all the way and then taking credit for the success of Wendy. If you don't know, when Wendy was still in a rehab facility, Kevin took advantage of this chance to go live on his Instagram account and take credit for the success of the Wendy Williams show. I mean, yes, he was part of it and there are a lot of them who contributed to make that show, but Wendy's success was not his to take. In this Instagram live, he still had the audacity to thank Sharina, his mistress, and associate her in Wendy's success as well.
Not just music industry, but this television industry for 11 years. And taking something that they would not give me, I had to take it to hold my people down. And I'm gonna say this with pride and passion. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever bring the energy, the charisma, the passion, the expertise, the talent, and whatever else you want to call it. Like you seen Kelvin Hunter and my ex, Wendy Williams, and the team that was behind us. And I mean the whole team. That includes my current lady now. Because it takes a village. And I'ma say it, yeah, I said it. Whoever don't like it, they just ain't gonna like it. And I'ma say it again. Nobody.
I've said it earlier about Wendy having a relapse. She had to be rushed to the hospital when this happened. She was not only dealing with alcoholism during that time, but she was also battling with Graves' disease, which she was diagnosed with when she was still married with Kevin. Ever since, her health has been a big factor for the show. She was often seen in public having a hard time walking alone. When she filed for divorce, she was dealing with a lot of things already. Fans were also concerned about her not having a solid support system. According to a source, when Wendy and Kevin were still together, he would often try to control her. She barely had any communication with her family and friends. The source added that Kevin was insecure. Well, maybe he was, but it is also possible that he does not want Wendy's family and close friends to warn her about Kevin and how he is using her money for his own desires. Are you guys also excited about Wendy's comeback? I would love to know your thoughts, so comment them down below. Some of you might think that they must have achieved quite a lot using Wendy's money since they were able to use that money in financing their business.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
They were smart. They should have at least something now instead of still waiting for Wendy's money. But they were not, and all the businesses that Sharina had started seemed to fail and were not able to give her the success that she was expecting to have. So now both of them are still waiting about how this case that Kevin had recently filed against Wendy is going to end. To be honest, this is not looking good for Kevin and Sharina. So, part of their settlement agreement is that Wendy will be giving Kevin alimony pay.
And nobody again to talk to, but the times now were even deeper than they ever were in my life. I couldn't call my mom, my dad, my sister. They would have just said, just leave, just leave.
She talked about this before as well, saying that she was always paying them monthly and on time. But since Wendy was not doing well and she's having a lot on her plate, this severance pay had stopped. Kevin was no longer getting any money from Wendy, which I think is how it's supposed to be anyway. Of course, he was not happy about this. Would Sharina still be with him though when he is completely broke? I guess that would be for another video, and we still have to wait how this case is going to end before we see news about that. Anyway, even though it is in their agreement that Wendy has to pay Kevin alimony, there are still limitations to this agreement. In their agreement, this severance pay can be modified and stopped altogether. When Kevin released a statement saying that he will soon have to face foreclosure of the house if Wendy would still not give him the money, Wendy's attorney was quick to clarify the issue. They said that ever since Wendy's show got cancelled, she was also not getting any compensation from the show and is not getting paid the same amount from any other TV shows. Additionally, Kevin said that he's behind most of his bills and that he cannot even pay for his car insurance. He might not say it directly, but it shows that the money Wendy is sending them every month is their only source of income. But how come he was able to afford to hire new high-value lawyers for his recent case that he filed against Wendy? He sure is willing to spend money just to continue leeching off Wendy. But what do you think he would do if he loses this case? I guess many would be laughing at him and Sharina when that happens. What is making more of Wendy's fans even more mad at Sharina is that even though she was the root cause of Wendy and Kevin's divorce, she still had the nerve to throw shade at Wendy using her Instagram account. This also happened just recently, and fans were quick to call her and Kevin out as well. I mean, people have been calling them out for a long time already, even when Wendy and Kevin were still together. They cannot even get a decent job right now to provide for their family and are still hoping to continuously get money from Wendy. Well, Wendy saw an opportunity to stop sending them money, and I think that she will continue to leverage this chance so that she no longer has to give them the satisfaction. People are even suspecting that Wendy must be well ready and she just does not want to show it so that she would still have the reason for not paying Kevin severance pay. Whether that is true or not, many are still hoping for her to get better and be in her best state to completely fight off this battle and to shut down Kevin and Sharina at last. She must have had enough already and at this point must be really tired of all the hard work Kevin and Sharina are doing just so they can enjoy a life free of labor because of Wendy's money. But Wendy is not having it anymore. She can use whatever reason she has though to put these two into their place. Aren't they getting tired of how long they're pulling off this act? Anyways, fans are already excited for Wendy's comeback and they want to know more about her podcast. Although Wendy had announced about having a podcast, no one knows if there is even an episode that was already recorded. Well, fans are patiently waiting because we all know that when she returns, we will be getting more drama. Do you think she would be able to shut down Sharina and Kevin with this new case that he filed against her? We honestly hope so. We are also yet to hear about Wendy and Wells Fargo. If you do not know, Wells Fargo has denied Wendy access to her own money because they think that she is still incapable of making financial decisions. This must also be one of the other reasons as well as to why the severance pay had stopped. It is somehow fun to see Kevin almost begging Wendy for her money, and I'm sure Wendy is enjoying this as well. Reports said that Wendy is now better, but she must still be recovering. Anyway, would this case take this feud to the next level? Because if I were Wendy, I do not think I can still deal with these two. One thing's for sure though, Wendy is no longer tolerating any of their acts, so this might be a good fight and we are sure to give you an update about this. Thank you for watching, don't forget to check out these videos.